It's already started. Yeah. So we have seen this question like BCD addition in the last to last lecture. And if you are not able to recall, let me tell you what BCD was. It was, let me take it full screen. So BCD, it was like, for example, this number is given 2905. So I can represent this in a specific code. 5 represent in a specific code, right? Then 0 represent in, so 5 is represented like this, 0 is represented like this, 9 is represented like this, 2 is represented like this. So every number have their own representation, a separate representation in the system. So for example, if you say 10, it means you are talking about 0001 and 0000. So what the numbers we have like 10, then it will be, suppose someone say 112, so it will be 0001 and 0010. So this is known as BCD representation of the decimal, and that's why it is not, sometimes it is not saying decimal as well, it's saying denary as well, because every number is represented separately. So it's a coding mechanism, it's not conversion, it's a coding mechanism. So while we are doing in the BCD coding, we are looking for the addition. So this one example was given, like how to do addition. So here one important thing, if your addition, or you can say your sum, will come greater than 9, in that case what you have to do, you have to add plus 6 into the sum, then you will get the right number. So let me do it here. Suppose you will add 1 plus 1, you will get 0, and carry will be 1, 1 plus 0, sorry, 1 plus 1, again 0, then carry will be 1, triple 1, you will get 1 here, and carry will be 1, that will be 1. Now you check it out, is this is greater than 9? Yes, it is definitely greater than 9, it is 8421. So in that case what you have to do, you have to add plus 6, so 0 1 1 0. So once you add plus 6, what we'll get, we'll get 0, we'll get 1, we'll get 0, we'll get again, so 1 carry will be there, so we'll get 0, and 1 carry will be there, so this carry will go here. So let me say it like this. Now let's add it. So 1 plus 1, you will get 0, then 1, then again 0, then 1. This again, it is 8 and 2, means it is 10 more than 9. So what we have to do, we have to add 6 over there, right? So once you add 6 here, so you will get 0, 1 plus 1 0, again 1 plus 1 0, again carry 1 plus 1 0, and 1 carry will be there, so that carry will go here. Let me add it. 1 plus 1, you will get 0, then 1, then 0, then 0. Now you will get another carry. So here you have 0 0 1 0. Now after this you have one carry that will carry forward here, and you have this number. So once you add this number, is something wrong here, what I made? What about this?
So one will be carried now.
Yeah, that's true.
No, no.
One will be carried.
Yeah.
Right. So 1 will be carried. In that case, now look into this number. Yeah, just wait. Look into this number, entire number. Is this is more than 9? Yes, it is more than 9. So what you have to do? You have to add 6 here. 0 1 1 0. If you look into the entire number, it will be more than 9. So you will add 6 here. So what you will get? 0 plus 0 0, 1 plus 1 0. Then again 1 plus 1 0, and then 1 1 plus 1 1, it will be 1, and then you will get this one, this will go to the carry, and then add it here. 1 plus 1, you will get 0, then 1 will be carry, 1 plus 1, you will get 0, then 1 will be the carry, 1 and 0. So finally, let me, because it is not more than 6, so it will remain same. So let me write final numbers here, 0, 1, 0, 0.
Sir,
1,
one doubt, sir.
0, 0. Yeah, I am coming.
So,
0, 0, 0, 0. Yes. Please go ahead.
sir, but the thing you did in third case, you
Yeah.
didn't do in the first two cases. So you carried one to the other side, but you considered one as a whole
Here, once
in
you
third
add
case, sir.
both of them, right? Once you add both of them, you didn't get any carry here. But once you add 6, you get a carry that we carry forward here.
No, sir. In the third case, you wrote 1001 after
Yes,
addition 10010.
yes, this one.
But in the previous two cases, you didn't write because one was I think.
No, once you
Uh,
add both of them, it will be. So here, let me start from
okay,
here.
okay, sir. Okay.
There is no carry,
Yeah.
so no need to write it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand.
So once we have extra number, it is coming because it is 8 plus 9. So that's why you will get extra number that will be part of this summation. So this entire summation is more than 6. That's why more than 9. That's why you have to add 6 here. Once you add 6, whatever final number will come, you will take this out. And here you got this carry. So that will carry forward. This carry will be carry forward. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Guys, any doubt on this?
No, sir.
Cool.
No, sir.
So in that way, you can do addition in BCD. Okay, now let's move forward. So where our discussion was over, we have gone through different gates, AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, NOR gate, NAND gate, XOR and XNOR gate. Now today we'll talk about further, and very first thing what we are going to discuss, that is gate delay, right? So while you have gone through, yeah.
सर वो आपने कहा था ना कि मतलब सर्किट डायग्राम बताएंगे सर उसका जोर गेट का.
I'll do it because I'm just taking one at a time. Otherwise, the lecture will be delayed. So I'll do it. Don't worry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now let's talk about gate delay, right? So here gate delay comes into the picture. So any physical gate, once you say any physical, ultimately it is not only the what we are understanding theoretically. It is physical phenomena. What we say, it is a gate, and you can say physically processor is there. So whenever you have some physical gate, it definitely takes some time to complete the operation. It is not immediate, like once you give the input, immediately it will come output. No, it is not immediate. It will have some delay into the circuit, right? And that delay is known as the gate delay. So for example, and this will decide how fast your processor is, right? So you are saying now we have like initially we have micrometer circuit, then we have nanometer circuit, then you say like 50 nanometer circuit, 40 nanometer circuit, then we are saying 14 nanometer circuit, what we are working today. So in that case, your circuit delay is reducing down. As your circuit delay is reducing down, as your process will become much faster. Definitely there is a trade-off between them, but due to your circuit is become smaller, their delay will also become reduced. So that TG is reducing down, and that makes your circuit much faster, but definitely that delay is there. So if you remember, whenever you write a Verilog code, you are using #5. #5 just impose this gate delay, like there is some delay into the gate to perform the operation, so that you are telling to the system, please wait for 5 nanosecond or 5 millisecond or 5 microsecond, and then take new input into the picture. So that's why we are giving some delay into the test bench whenever we write the test bench. Ready? Now let's look into this logic diagram. So here we have a truth table. This is one way to represent the circuit, that is known as the truth table. We already seen it. You can represent a circuit with the help of truth table. Now here it is not just gate, it is like a function that is combination of gates. So suppose I want to make a system, a hardware that has some specific functionality. So suppose I am a hardware programmer or you are a hardware programmer. and I'm telling you, okay, I want this circuit. So when you give the specification of the circuit, you can give that specification in the form of truth table. When we have this combination of input, I want this output. Whenever we have second combination of input, I want this output. For example, here it is saying whenever we have combination this 0 0 0, then I want output as 0. Whenever combination of xyz is 0 0 1, I want output as 1. So in this form, in the truth table form, you can define a circuit here, right? Or you can say your module here, or you can say your system here with the help of truth table. Getting? So now second way how you can represent, that is the equation. The same information what you are talking about here, you can represent in the form of equation, right? And third is the logic diagram. Logic diagram where we are talking about the gate diagrams, right? You have seen in the example like there after the gate there is a transistor level, then after transistor there is a physical level. But in our digital design course, we will not go in that level, that is like electronics or pure electronics or pure physics field. We will restrict ourselves to till gate level diagram where we are defining the gates. So that is the representation of the same information, or you can say same functionality. So same function in this our system, you can represent either in the form of truth table, or you can represent in the form of equation, or you can represent in the form of logic diagram, right? So the same thing we are telling. So it is saying it will give you a flexibility how you want to represent your system, how you want to represent your operations. So you have all the way like how you can represent it. Either you can represent in the form of equation, or you can represent in the form of truth table, or you can represent in the form of logic diagram, right? Now before jumping into that in further detail, we want to discuss some Boolean algebra functionality. I think many of you already aware about this Boolean algebra, like x plus 0, it will be x, x plus 1, it will be 1, x plus x, it will be x, x plus x bar, it will be 1, x double bar, it will be 0, it will be same value. Similarly, dot product as well. Now, what should be the value of x? What is possible value of x, if you say? What can be the possible value of
0
x?
and 1.
Either it will be 0 or 1. So man, based on that you can apply the formulation. So means it is saying 1 plus 1 equal to 1 because x is 1. 0 plus 1 it will be 0, right? So accordingly you can apply the formulation. Similarly, there are some law here like commutative law is there where you can swap the values, like you can change the order. Then you have associative law, then you have distributive law where you are giving the distribution like x dot y plus z, then it can be xy plus xz, right? Similarly, you have De Morgan's law. This is one of the very important law that is heavily utilized. We have seen while you are making an implementation of gates using NAND gate and NOR gate, we have utilized the De Morgan's law to break the circuit. So whenever this bar is on the top of expression, what it will do, it will make individual bar of individual component, and plus will convert it to the dot, or dot will convert it to the plus, and so on. So the sign will change dot to plus or plus to sign, right? So in that way that De Morgan's law is working. Now, what should be the order of evaluation whenever a Boolean expression is given? Like you have seen, there is an order of evaluation in terms of whenever you have represented a equation, a expression, right? So for example, plus, into, minus, divide, all values are coming, then there is a specific order to make the circuit, or you can say to solve the problem. Similarly, in Boolean algebra also we have a particular order to solve the equation, or you can say to evaluate the expression. So first is the parenthesis, that is always there. Then second is the not. Then and at the end it is the OR gate. That is the way how you will solve the expression, or how you will evaluate the expression, right? So that is the way how evaluation comes into the picture. First the parenthesis, second is the NOT gate, third is the AND gate, and fourth is the OR gate. Right. So in that way you will solve the problem. Right. So let me give you only one proof here, the absorption law. Rest you can, like, if you want, you can solve it at your end. I'll not force you to solve, to make the proof and write the proof for all the theorems. So you can take a look of Morris Manu book. I already shared in the group for the proofs of different law. It is already available over there. So I'll not cover proof of law in the lecture. So if you want, you can go through it. Only one proof I am saying, just to tell you how to make the proof. That's it. So for example, here we have a plus a dot b. Now we have to solve it. So first of all, you required, so what you will do, you will take the common a. So you can say a is represented by a dot 1 and a dot b. Once you will take a common, it will be 1 plus b, and 1 plus b can be absorbed, so it will become 1. So it will remain a dot 1, and a dot 1 is nothing, it is sorry, a dot 1 is a. So based on that, you will get your final value as a, and this is the same absorption law is saying, right? So this is just general proof of that, but you can make other proofs as well. That is up to you when you want to complete your proof or when you want to do that exercise. It is already available in the Morris Manu book. Book is already shared in the WhatsApp group. If you want, I can put it in the LMS as well, so that you can take a look of the proofs and try to
Which group?
understand.
Excuse me, sir.
It is available. I posted in the WhatsApp group, both
Sir,
Jivan
you
and
made WhatsApp group also?
yeah, I posted in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, you can check out. There are few other theorems as well, that is minimization, like absorption law, as we have seen. Then there is a minimization of this, like x dot y plus x bar dot y equal to y. So you can say y you will take common, so it will become x plus x bar, and x plus x bar is nothing, it will be 1. So ultimately you will get 1 y as a output. Similarly, other simplifications methods as well. Then last we have again De Morgan's law. So you can solve it. So suppose, let me give one example. Suppose I have a equation f equal to a dot b plus c plus c bar d, right? And now I want to apply De Morgan's law. Let me take the bar. So what will be the output? So you can say what will be f bar? Can anyone solve it? What will be f bar? Yes. And then please speak up, those who solved it. Then you can solve it directly. It's clearly visible. Anyone? So there are 143% and no one want to speak up. What will be the output? What will be the F bar here?
Sir, will it be A bar plus B bar dot C plus D bar
A bar plus B bar
dot C bar
bar
dot bracket
C plus.
C plus D bar?
Right. So that's correct. Okay. Now, I just want to simplify this expression. Please try at your end. How much simplify you can make this expression. Right. Use some law, whatever is we have explained. Do you want to see the expression? Then I will show the law and try to solve it. Please write down this equation in your notebook. Have you written?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going to just show you that you can take the help of this law and solve the problem. Which law you will apply and You are able to reduce the things. You can take a snapshot with the phone. Okay. So what you will do? Anyone?
Sir, can you show the last slide again, please?
This one?
So पहले वाली.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Have anyone solved it? What is the expression you got? I will write it here. Okay, I'll write somewhere here. What final expression? Please speak up, anyone. So one thing you can do, A bar C is here, A bar C is here. You can take common, so you'll get D plus D bar, so that will gone. So you will get A bar plus C from these two. Now from these two, what you can get? You can get AB, because you will take common, so it will become 1 plus CD, and once you say 1 plus CD, it will be gone, so it will remain AB, and you have remained with A bar plus A bar BD. Anyone got any other expression? I'll write it here.
So A bar C
A bar C
plus AB
plus AB
plus BD
plus BD,
bracket A bar plus AC.
A bar plus
AC. So
AC.
how to solve now to simplify this?
So from where you got this?
Sir, first I had taken common from A bar. Wait a minute. The one to third and last.
This, okay, third and last, this and this, right?
BD. I have taken common BD here. So in the bracket will come A bar plus AC.
A bar plus AC. Okay.
Then I have taken comma from A bar CD, A bar CD one.
So you have taken,
So A bar C will left. In the bracket will be 1
yeah,
because D plus D bar. In A bar plus C जो पहले लिखा है ना उसमें ब्रैकेट लगा के D plus D bar कर दो हाँ साथ में
चला गया.
हाँ तो ये 1 हो गया.
Yes. What about this
So
AD?
sir AB AB.
AD.
So it's AB not it's AB sir.
Okay, it's AB. Okay, okay.
Yes sir.
So AB will come from here, right?
So how have you solved that A bar BD one?
Okay, so you are saying like this. So what I have done, okay, let me change the color so that, okay, first erase this all so that it will be more clear. So what we have done, first we have taken this and this together. So A bar C will be common, D and D bar, that will be gone, right? Then second, what I have taken this AB and ABCD. Once you take AB common, what will happen? It is 1 plus CD, and 1 plus CD will become 1. So you have AB left out. Now you have remains this one. Getting?
Okay. Okay sir.
Yeah. So now suppose you have A bar plus AC. Can we simplify this further? A bar plus AC. Let's check if some law is there. Look at this. Is this is similar?
Yes, sir.
Right. Let me write it here. X plus X bar Y, X plus X bar Y, and that is equal to X plus Y. So you can say, if you want to solve it, AC, A bar C plus AB plus this will become X plus Y means A bar plus C. Getting? So BD and that will be A bar plus C. Right? So now if you want to
Yes, sir.
multiply, you'll get A bar C plus AB plus A bar BD plus BCD.
सर उसमें तो सर ए बार नहीं आना चाहिए ना, मतलब ए प्लस ए बार सी आना चाहिए ना, ए बार सी.
Look at this number. So here it is not compulsory. It should be complemented. Important story. It should be complemented. If A bar is here, so A should be there. If A is there, then A bar should be there.
Okay, sir.
So look at the.
So if in the previous one is A bar, for example, you have written that X plus X bar Y. If it was written like X bar plus XY, then the solution will be X bar plus Y.
Yes. So it will be X
Okay,
bar
sir.
plus Y. That we have done here. Getting? So in that way, like we got two things. One expression we got this, one expression we got this. Similarly, like you can get multiple expression too. Once we'll simplify with these functions, with this law, right? So we'll talk about what is the problem while we applying these law and how to resolve it. So we'll come into that soon, right? So similarly, once you solve this particular expression, you will get these literals. And you can say, if you compare this and the simplified version that is written here, then you can say which one have lesser requirement of gates, first one or second one. If you say gate requirement, which one have lesser
Second.
requirement of gate? Second one. Immediately we can see and we can say second will require lesser number of gates. Now there is another term that is called literal. When we say literal contain complemented and uncomplemented variables. So suppose you can say, if you count literal from here, it is A that is required, then B, then A bar, then C, then D. Then A bar is already is there, B is there, D is there, A bar is already there, C is there, D bar again we required. Then A, B, C, D all is there. So how many literals we require? We require 6 literals. But in simplified case, if you count it, so we require A, then B, then C, then D, and A bar. You require 5 literals. Means we are able to reduce down the literals as well, and we are able to reduce down the requirement of gates as well. Here you require, suppose I am taking one gate for this, means 4 input AND gate. Then you are taking 3 input AND gate along with 2 NOT gate is required. For this 3 input AND gate and 1 NOT gate is required. Here also 3 input AND gate with 1 NOT gate, and here 2 input AND gate. So more gate requirement on the first expression, but while you are able to simplify it, then you require lesser number of gates. Once we say lesser number of gates, it implies two important things, right? Ultimately, suppose you have more number of gates, then it will take more area to make that circuit. Area will be high. On the top of it, if you have more gates in the circuit, then it will require more power also to perform that operation. So means you have higher number of area, higher power is required to compute the same operation. But if you simplify it, then you require lesser number of area and lesser power to compute the operation. That's why simplification is important. So we can use the De Morgan's law to complement the function. The entire function you can complement with the help of De Morgan's law. We already seen it. Suppose you have given f here, this x bar y z bar plus x y bar z. In that case, what you can do, if you take complement of entire function, what you will get x y bar plus x plus y bar plus z and x bar plus y plus z. Getting? So you will get the complemented function while you will use the De Morgan's law. So suppose you have this function. Now I want to apply De Morgan's law here. So what will be the G bar? Can anyone tell me? What will be the G bar? So these are the dots that we are making, and at the end we'll connect all the dots, and then you'll understand, okay, what is the importance of individual dots. Right? So what will be the complement of this G?
Sir, A dot B bar plus C bar plus D bar dot E bar.
A dot
B bar
bar
plus C bar
bar
plus D bar
plus D bar.
dot E bar.
So this bracket will be there or not?
Yes, sir.
And dot E bar. In this way.
Yes, sir.
Right. So you got the complement of this function, right? Now let's look into the canonical form. So we have seen few representation of the expression. Then there is a two more representation of the expression. One is sum of minterms and another is product of maxterm. Sum of minterms and product of maxterm. That let's understand what is this SOM, sum of minterms, and POM, that is product of maxterm. Right. So once you say minterm, first of all, it is represented by small m. When you say small m, it is represented minterm. When you say maxterm, it is represented by capital M. Right. So what this minterm represents, suppose you have two variables. So what maximum minterm you can represent? You can say x, y, both normal, x dot y bar, x is normal, y is complemented, x bar y, x is complemented, y is normal, x bar, y bar, both are complemented. So you have four minterms with two variables. Right. Now, what we can represent with the minterm, you can say, if someone say like I have two minterms available in my circuit, it means you can say which of the minterm is available for you. So based on that, you can find out what will be the expression of that circuit. So I'll come into that very quickly. Similarly, if you say maxterm represented with plus. So x plus y, then x plus y bar, then x bar plus y, x bar plus y bar. Getting? So this is the representation of maxterm. Now, if you say look into the combined place, if it is 0, so let me say 0, instead of saying 0, I will say 0, 0. It is 1, then 0, 1, it is 1, 2, it is 1, 0, it is 1, 1. So if it is 0, 0, what is the minterm? X bar, y bar. What is the maxterm? X plus y. Just take a look, means keep your eyes open. What exactly we are looking here? Here 0 means bar, here 0 means normal, here dot, here plus. Similarly 0, 1, it is 1, it is x bar dot y, here it is x plus y bar, reverse of that. 1, 0, x dot y bar, and here x bar plus y. Similarly x, y, x bar plus y bar. Right. So this is the way how you can define minterm and maxterm. Now, in case of minterm, we already seen it. If it is 1, means not complemented. If it is 0, it means it is complemented. In case of maxterm, it is reverse. If it is 0, it is not complemented. If it is 1, then it is complemented. So maxterm is reverse minterm compared to the minterms. You can say, in short, you can say maxterm is equal to complement of minterm, and vice versa. Minterm is equal to complement of maxterm. Now you can say where we'll utilize it, right? So before jumping into that, suppose I said I have three variables x, y, and z. So how minterm 0 will be represented? X bar, y bar, z bar, and that is represented by small m0. If you say maxterm 0, m0, it is represented by x plus y plus z. Now, can anyone tell me what is the minterm of 6? Means small m6. What will be the value? So what will be the value of minterm here? X, Y, Z bar. And what will the max term for 6? It will be X bar plus Y bar plus Z. This is the max term. Now interesting side claim into the picture. Why exactly we are looking for minterm and max term? Now suppose you have 4 variables A, B, C and D. Now you choose any combination of A, B, C, D, like 0, 0, 0, 0 or 1, 0, 1, 0 or 1, 1, 0, 1 and check what is the value of minterm. It is 1 or 0. So means once you say A, B, C, D bar means A bar dot B bar dot C bar dot D bar. So we'll do the dot between these values. Check out what will be the value of this. If you take the value 0, 0, 0,
0.
If you take all zeros, then what will be the value?
1, sir.
1. What about this?
1.
Sir.
0.
1, 1.
1. What about this?
Again 1, sir.
Again 1. What about this? Anyways 1. Now let's look into this. What value will get here?
0.
0. You can pick any. What will get? 0. You can pick
0,
any.
0.
You get all zeros.
0.
It means, in short, what we understand. Once we want to represent 1 in the circuit, like what combination where the output is 1, what combination you'll get so that output will be 1, then that is represented by minterm. If you want to represent the zeros in the circuit, then you will take what combination you will take so that the output will be 0, then you will represent the max term over there. Now you can say how it will be utilized for us, like how we can make it useful for us and why these two things comes into the picture. So let me take one example. This you already seen, so I'm not going into that. Suppose I said I have a function f and this is represented by minterm is represented by pi because this is a sum of product. So this is representing sum and f, if you say, sorry, I'm saying sum and representing the product. So minterm is representing by this and max term is representing by that. Because it is a product, it is a sum. Now I'm saying here M0, M1, M2 and M3. Let me say this, right? And here f is the function of A, B, C and D. A, B, C, D. In that case, what I want to represent here, in this case, let me erase this part so that I'll get some space. What I want to represent here, I want to represent, so let me draw the truth table for you so that it will be very clear.
सर मिन टर्म तो फिर हमेशा टोटोलॉजी हो गया ना, मतलब हमेशा बनी रहेगा वो तो.
Yes, it is not tautology. Tautology is different terminology.
ओके सर. तो सर मतलब ये गेट्स के थ्रू ही तो होंगे, अगर मतलब अपन
Yes,
गेट.
it is through gate, but it is a different representation.
ओके सर.
So remaining I'm not taking so that we'll get some space. So how exactly it is representing? It will say this function is represented. So M0 is there, so it will be 1. M1 is there, it will be 1. M2 will be there, it is 1. And M3 is there, it is 1. And remain all will be the 0. In this way, you can represent the function. So this truth table is represented by this. So once you say sum of product and here you have given M0, M1, M2, M3, so only these places will be 1, remain all will be 0. Now let me take another example. So let me take here, so that I will take another example. Suppose I'm say f function of x, y, and z. This is very important. How many terms are there? Based on that, you will decide your truth table, right? And then I'm saying summation, and here you say 0 and 3 only. You can say a small m0 and a small m3. What exactly it means? It will say when you have this term, so only 0 will be 1 and 3 will be 1. Remain all will be 0. This is the way how you can represent the circuit, right? And this is the way how you can represent here with the help of min term. That is another way of representation of the circuit in the form of min term. Now let's look into the max term. What max term is saying, suppose I set my function f of x comma y comma z, and it is representing in the form of max term, and that is 0, m0, m1. Let me say this. So in that way, what will happen? Let me draw it for you. One last. So only 0 and first place, that will be 0. Make sure whenever you say max term means you are representing 0 with that, and remain will be 1. Getting everyone? This is the difference between min term and max term. Min term is representing the 1, max term is representing the 0. Any doubt till this point? Anyone? Guys, any doubt till this point?
सर
Yes.
ये जो ट्रूथ टेबल है ये मिन टर्म की है. अरे
Yes. Now
नहीं,
truth
इसके
table is
बाद-
for the function. Truth table is for the function.
हाँ
So once you say this is the max term means only these places have 0. This one?
नहीं तो सर मतलब अपन ने इसमें लगाया तो सर मिन टर्म ही है ना, मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो.
Suppose I had said I have given min term representation. So m0 and m1 is saying max term representation. This is not min term, this is max term, capital M.
सर पर मतलब मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं ना.
Yes, we are doing multiplication. Means what exactly it means? You will write it directly. Not a, it is x, y, z. So let me write it function for you so that it will be more clear. So what it is representing, you can directly write the function. So f is equal to x plus y plus z dot x plus y plus z bar. This is the function for this truth table. So you can say either you represent with the max term, or you represent with the function, or you represent with the truth table. Getting?
सर फिर मतलब z कॉम्प्लीमेंट क्यों लिया है मतलब?
Because m0, see m0 then m1. Once you say capital M1, it means it is saying x plus y plus z bar.
ओके सर.
Yes, same thing is happening here. If you say 0 0 1 1 means a plus b plus c bar plus d bar.
पर ये तो सर डिपेंड करेगा ना, अगर मतलब 1 है तो ही मतलब उसका बार लेगा, अगर 0 होगा तो थोड़ा ना उसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट लेगा ये.
No, of course no.
ओके सर.
That is the way of representation. How you can represent the things, right?
यस सर.
So here you can represent with the help of max term, you can represent with the help of min term, and you can represent with the help of truth table. Truth table will be same, means you can represent either way, truth table will remain same. So let me take one more example. Suppose I have this function, now I want to represent in the max term. So what will be the sum of product for this? So it is saying every place both values should be there. Both means both variables should be there. So if it is function of x comma y. So whatever values will you represent, both should have x and y in either direct form or complement form. Both should be there. Then only it is the representation of sum of minterms. Similarly for the max term as well. So suppose I want to represent this in the form of, so you can say it is reverse of what we have done in the, you can say in the minimization, I'm doing reverse of that, right? So suppose we have this function x plus x bar plus y bar. So in that case, what you will do, here y is missing, so I had added y over there. So then xy plus xy bar. So you'll get this expression, and based on this, you'll say what term is this? This is m3. What term is this? This is m2, and what term is this? This is m0. So you can say your function f is equal to summation of m0, m2, and m3. Right? So in that way, you can represent in the form of minterm, right? So now, can you tell me what will be the minterm representation for this function? F equal to y plus x bar y, x bar. So in that case, here x is missing, here y is missing. So what you will do? You will say y x plus x bar plus x bar y plus y bar. Now you break it out. So you will get x y here, x bar y here, then x bar y here, then x bar y bar. Obviously these two are same, so we'll make only one will be remain there. So it will be xy plus x bar y plus x bar y bar. Now can you say what will be the minterm representation for this? What about this? M3?
1 plus 0 plus 0.
So 3. Then what about this? 1. What about this? 0. Getting? So it will become M0, M1, and M3. Now let's come into the another style. Now suppose I want to represent this into the in a way of max term, right? Max term. So what will be the max term? It is inverse of this. So the max term, you can see if you say like this. So now both literals are there. You do not need to add any literals here. X is there, y is there, and they are in the form of sum, like product of sum. So sum is already there. You do not need to make any product. So what value you will get? X bar plus y. What value you will get in the max term? If you say I want to represent this into the max term, what value will get? Yes. Whenever you have max term, it is complemented. It will be 1.
Sir, x into y. X dot y.
No, I'm saying how to represent this in the max term. What number you will get from here?
अच्छा अच्छा वैसे तो सर ये तो कॉम्प्लीमेंट है तो सर 1 आ जाएगा और हाथ से सही जी है ये
तो
सर
ये हो
1
गया
0
M2 you can say.
सर ये थोड़ा कम समझ में आ रहा है सर
Don't worry, we'll do more exercise, then it will be more clear.
सर ये M2 कैसे हो गया?
Okay, so let me go back. Right. Now suppose in this place I'm saying we have x and y 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Now I want to say what will be the max term. What will be the max term for this?
सर 1 0 0 आएगा
Max term. Max term means in this representation.
कॉम्प्लीमेंट तो सर
X plus y.
a
X
0
plus
plus 0 0
Correct, plus y.
Right. What about this?
Plus y bar.
What about this?
x bar plus y
What about this?
x bar plus y bar
Right. Now just keep this in mind. X bar plus y. This is the same. Getting from where this M2 is coming. Getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. So from here M2 is coming. Now I will give you like one very nice thing here. So if you say product of sum, then it is only M2. Now these two functions are talking about same thing. If you draw a truth table for this or you draw a truth table for this, both truth table will be same. Let me draw it for you, right? Then it will be more clear. So let me erase this point so that I will get some space. So let me draw truth table for you. So I'm writing first for this f of summation m0, m1 and m3. So definitely this is x and y. So you have x and y 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. In which places we have to put 1? All these three places. So 0 will be 1, 1 will be 1 and m3 will be 1, this will be 0. So this is your function. This truth table is coming from this function. Now let me draw truth table for this, right? So where I will draw? Okay, I will try to draw here. F equal to product of m2. So x and y, here you have f 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So where you will put 0? Where this number is given, because max term is representing 0. So it is saying this place will be 0. What about remaining? It will be 1. Now look what you are getting. Is both are same?
Yes, sir.
Table? It means if you represent like this or if you represent like this, both are same. Means if you take, so in short you can say max term, what you are getting, if you take complement you will get the min term, and if you take complement of min term you will get the max term. Now one last thing that I will share, then we will close the session, right? Is we have, so I have to erase few things. Just give me a minute. Okay, I will give here only. So now if you say m0 and it is function of x and y, so how will represent the function? 0 means the function will be x bar dot y bar, plus 1 means x dot x bar dot y, plus m3 means x and y. This is the representation in the form of sum of product. Now how you will represent this? It will simply say m2. M2 means you can say x bar plus y. This is representation in the form of max term. This function and this function both are same. We already computed it previously. So now sometimes it happens, sometimes your function, while you are representing min terms, there, if you are making a circuit using min term, this required more gates, but if you make the same circuit using max term, that required lesser number of gates. Getting or not? Getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now simple thing, if you want to represent exactly same this function, in that case what you will do, you will take this m2 and take the complement of it, means one extra NOT gate is required, then you are able to represent exactly once over there, and that is the beauty behind min term and max term. So once we will see more circuits in upcoming class, we will understand sometimes while you make circuit using max term, that is more profitable, sometimes while you make circuit using min term, that is more profitable. So based on our profit in terms of number of requirement of the gates, requirement of the literals, based on that we'll decide what is the optimized circuit, or what is the optimized form. It is the max term form or min term form, or you can say it is a sum of product form, or it is a product of sum form. Okay guys, any doubt? Anyone?
Sir, in the next class, can you give more examples of this? Can you?
Yes, definitely. I will give more examples of this min term and max term. Then we'll talk about further. Yes, someone want to say something, please.
So this is for simple. I mean, this max time. I mean, for the time is for. So just 1 minute.